as the 30-second board has been slipped sideways, and we are underway with the 250 main event. Ricky Carmichael breaking out with Mike LaRocco. Moves into second. Here's Villeman. Villeman challenging now McGrath for second place. Ricky Carmichael. The first lap about halfway underway now as Ricky Carmichael comes out of the shade into the sunshine, going toward the horseshoe season. In second and third behind him, and then Sebastian Tortelli, number 21.
All right, except for LaRocco, Wyndham's got a chance. Villeman's there, and Carmichael's starting to inch away a little bit. He did that in practice. He was
lead down to less than a second.
The thing about that triple is it's not the triple. It wasn't really intended to be one. Jeremy's turned it into one.
And after a miserable 10th place finish the week before, where he went down in the first turn, battled back for that 10th.
Back to the tennis, like the U.S. Open up in New York. The shadow moves across center court during the finals, and it really affects how those guys read the ball off the serve. Here you got a lot more going on.
The end to win a Daytona 250 race. The checkers for Ricky Carmichael.
To see if Carmichael can beat McGrath's time. Is in third with Robbie Raynard in fourth. Casey Johnson in fifth as they break. And in Ron Carmichael already showing him wheel. Goes to the outside. Here goes Carmichael accelerating by David Villeman. Villeman
his best 250 finish. Ezra Lusk in third. Villeman in fourth. Wyndham, LaRocco, and McGrath, the top seven.
I mean, his pace out here is just ridiculous. Look at how he gets around that berm right there. I mean, he just doesn't hardly slow down much.
The situation, but if it ends like it is right now, Ricky Carmichael picks up 11 points. And he clearly took the momentum in the points race here today.
Ricky Carmichael is not going to become part of that. It's that.
No, I don't think we have to worry about that. He doesn't either. No. After gaining his very...
I mean, I've counted 3 times now for sure. We've seen them all where he has just about crashed, and he has held on.
Check this out again. I mean,
and he gets a little bit out of shape. Whoa, the back end kicks. He stays on the racetrack. If he'd have gone off the track right there, he'd have to circle back around. He wants this championship. It's the only one he doesn't have. He's going to do everything it takes to get it.
He should gain 10 points with this victory. That would be a 26-point lead for Ricky Carmichael, who takes the checkers for the second consecutive year here at Daytona International Speedway.
We're going to go down in a moment. The flags are up. The board is up. It's sideways, and they're off. The 250cc main event. Who's going to get the whole shot? Ricky Carmichael by a mile.
And now look at Tim Ferry on the inside. He's got the right line.
But cases it.
He cases it, comes up short, but Strada puts a wheel in on him. And get into his groove because Tim Ferry has made a good move into second, but Ricky Carmichael's put about 10 bike lengths on these guys. They can't let him run away.
Tim Ferry, kid from Florida.
Well, the one time that somebody gave Carmichael a hard time, he was able to pass him on the last lap, and that was David Villeman in Indianapolis. Carmichael getting on the gas just a hair too soon, and Tim Ferry is in the lead.
While we're watching a replay, Tim Ferry goes after it. 2 Florida riders on a win.
Well, this doesn't happen too often where somebody can come back and pass Ricky Carmichael, so this has got to put his head a little bit. But Ferry makes a small mistake inside, but then here comes Red Dog on the inside and just takes away the line from him. Gets in there, does a little block pass, no contact.
Actually, Carmichael's best lap time was a 1:31. It's Ferry that's doing the 29s, and they're side by side going through into the second whoop section, and Carmichael repasses Tim Ferry
and was able to complete the pass.
Now we agreed that maybe his tip over early on was a wake-up call for Ricky Carmichael. Maybe getting past was the wake-up call here in the main event. At Daytona International, Travis Pastrana has thrown down a 1:28 lap, moved past Tim Ferry into second.
And real strong and consistent out front, and Travis, with that momentum getting by Ferry, he's riding really, really hard. Hopefully he can keep his focus because he's reeling in Ricky Carmichael. Now as he comes into there, he doesn't slow down as much as Ferry, getting into the whoops and then squirts by. Travis is the king of absorbing, using that long body.
Both have fallen down, gotten back up today. And as we mentioned, it may have been a reminder to both of them, certainly to Ricky Carmichael. You've got to go out here and race this track. No,
very comfortable in the sand in this type of track. He's very strong in the outdoors as well, so he's not just a supercross racer.
Very quiet upper body through that.
The ground, you're twisting your knees, you're pulling your groin, and you got your hands out to keep you from falling, trying to cushion your load. So a lot of times it can come back and bite you, but fortunate for him and for Travis in the heat races. Neither
Here, if he holds on. The yellow flag is waving because number 199, Travis Pastrana, went down hard just past the start-finish line, while in the middle of this crowd of concerned people is Travis Pastrana. They're looking him over down there. You can
wins, and he's still coming.
20 wins for Ricky Carmichael in a fairly short, so far, 250 career. Riders that would like to keep him from equaling Jeff Stanton's record.
Carmichael 4 bikes in, gets a great jump.
Again from last year, no, he doesn't get the whole shot, but he does get the lead.
He does not come around the first turn first. Larry Ward gets the whole shot right up there with Sean Hamlin. And
Daytona Supercross track. Look at the lead that he has already over Larry Ward. Sean Hamlin is somewhat distant now in fourth position. Reed has taken over third, makes a mistake on the top there.
Ricky Carmichael in the heat race, so he needs to make sure that he does not let Ricky get away from him and maybe put a little bit of pressure. We saw this track bite some of the 125 guys.
That second position.
But he cannot.
Whoa! And Larry Ward out of the saddle, and there goes Reed. They come through that section that gives us a great shot at where they work these jumps. And Carmichael with a small mistake. That's going to cost him a little bit. International Speedway.
Now is when you think about records. Now is when you think about making mistakes. And the only guy that's really put it to you all year long, Chad Reed, who's behind you, even though
now the race is going to be 20 laps, 30 riders, and Reed is definitely gaining some ground on Ricky Carmichael.
Really not care about anybody but moving forward. Just like we talked about earlier with the practice laps, that's what Ricky Carmichael does. He just is a machine, runs lap after lap after lap. Pressure into a mistake. Ricky makes him on his own if he ever does. So Chad is really running strong, but he just understands that this is a minute and a half lap time. He's lapped all the way up to the top 5, and it's done with passes like this. He goes out there and he's running hard every lap, even if he gets up. And also Jeremy McGrath and Jeff Emig. A lot of times two guys will step out, whether it's confidence or motorcycle or whatever it is. But these two riders are in the league by
the 125 to the 250 machine, but once he got going, there was no stopping him.
Well, Ricky Carmichael's still very aggressive.
Man show here in front of a huge crowd at what he considers his home track.
A lot of people congratulating him, telling him great job. This man is happy. He's going to want to go.
He has shed the helmet now, and he's just going to celebrate. And looking pretty clean considering how many lap riders he had to come up behind.